Okay, so if you are a team athlete or a masters athlete that is advancing to quarterfinals and you're following the season program, what are you going to notice is that the layout for next week is going to be slight for this weekend and next week is going to be slightly different. You have those sessions at the top with the red circle that says indie athletes. That is specific to the individuals that are going to quarterfinals next week. Your training is still going to be in the same way that it's usually laid out, with the yellow diamonds and the blue diamonds for session 1 and session 2. And that'll be underneath. So you need to make sure you're choosing the correct training options, because your training is going to stay at a pretty similar volume for the next couple of weeks before we then start tapering off. The sessions that you have this weekend is a bit of a mixture of the compete program and some of the things that I've given the individuals also, just to get some a bit more of a wide range of training, and not only competition specific things like the individuals are doing. So you have a bit more of a wider range and more volume, because we still have a long way to go until you are competing. Next week as well, you'll see there's a lot of similarities with the compete program. And that's just because it's a really good week of training on compete. There's a lot of variance in the training, a lot of good things that you guys can be doing in your training as well. After next week, what is going to happen is you will get bits from the compete program, and you will also get bits based around what the individuals had in their quarterfinals. Because if we look at the last couple of years, there's definitely been similarities in between what the team does and what the masters do and individuals. There's similarities in everything. So I'm sure there's going to be some really good workouts and some good intervals and practice style events that we can do based off those events. So you'll get a mixture of those as well. One thing I'll say on the teams, what I'm not going to do is write the training out in specific team format, just because I know that not that many teams are together completely as a 4 all the time. And if I write it in team format, I think that is harder to then change back to individual for you guys than it is the other way around. That if I write it in individual format, it's quite easy to adapt that to team format. So whether that is just syncing up the movements, or kind of going you go, I go, or making it into a chip or split anyhow, which is probably the least common format that's going to be used. So don't do too much of that. What I would say is that the most common thing you need to practice is just syncing up as many movements as possible, barbell and on the rig, and then just general body weight movements. So that if you are in a team and you're able to train together a lot, then you can follow the program individually and try and sync up and make those workouts into a team format as much as possible.